All right, what's happening, people? Eben here. Today we're gonna be doing a something a little new and interesting here, and frankly, something I don't have like a huge amount of experience with, but it's a really fun tool, and I do use it from time to time. It's called Photobashing, which essentially means you're basically instead of, or at least primarily instead of putting, actual paint strokes down on the canvas, you're taking photos and manipulating them and kind of putting them together, assembling them, having them interact in different ways that creates a new scene. And the key here is that it is you are trying to create something original out of this. And so it's I don't know. I feel it's interesting. I've seen a lot of discussions about this, and some people feel it's copying or like it's not truly art original. But yeah, that's up to you. Honestly, it's just one tool that you can use however you want. And personally, while I prefer to do straight up painting and I usually don't use photo textures anyway. Photo bombing, yeah. It's a little different. Right. So, but, it's, basically my philosophy is always what matters is the result. And also that you are not plagiarizing, which is legitimate. A legitimate thing that can happen. So I'm just going to talk real quickly about some ways that you can avoid that. Basically, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to gather your sort of resources, your photo portfolio. So I have a folder. Where these are, I mostly just use these as references, but most of them are stock photo derived, which means that they are royalty free and they are free to use for the public. The ones that aren't, I pretty much know what they are. And so that's a good place to start. And I can show you here too. These are some sites you can use for finding stock photos to use for projects like this. It's always a great place to start. There's Adobe Stock, which does require a subscription, but you can start a trial and get some free assets there. There's Pexels, which is it's all free stock photos, open, available to the public, totally free to use. There is Unsplash, same kind of deal. There is, if you do a quick Google search, you can find, a variety of websites that are hosting resources like this for public use. This one I found recently, photobash.org. A lot of their stuff is paid content. So, you pay a certain amount for the better quality content, but there is some free stuff as well wrapped up in there. So it's always a great place to start as far as sourcing your images, because I'm not an expert on this exactly, so I'm not offering legal advice, but as far as I can understand, if there's any kind of residual appearance of that original image in your final result, and it is not a royalty-free photo or a stock photo that someone is selling, if that image is still recognizable, there's the potential for some trouble there. So and with things that are not strictly public domain, sometimes if you're manipulating it a lot, if you're stretching it out, if it's really unrecognizable in the final result, you're probably going to be okay. But you know, it's a great way. It's a great idea to just start with the stock photos just as a baseline, which is what I try to do when using these. Vieira's asking if there's a way to remove the stock photo watermark. So when things are watermarked, that means that they are not in the public domain. People do that because, and like you also want to think about like the people that create these photos are professionals. Like they make they're living off of this stuff, just like I do with my art, just like, you know, anyone else who's trying to turn their creative pursuits into a living. So that's why they'll put a watermark on it, so people like me can't just rip them off of the internet and either try to resell them or use them in their own work. So if something's watermarked, it's specifically difficult to remove it for that reason, and I don't really ever find a need to do that. I will occasionally use watermarked photos as a reference for a painting, and I think that's totally cool. But as far as using the actual photo in anything, it's best to avoid anything that does have a watermark on it. So, that being said, there are a few ways to sort of jump into something like this. You can start with a sketch. I mean, if you're really trying to create something specific, just to sort of get the ball rolling, depending upon the complexity of what you're doing, or like the or how much you want to stick to a specific brief or concept. Like if you're doing a commission or something like that, you may want to start with a more detailed sketch and then work from that. So maybe I'll just jot something down here. Nothing too complicated, but just enough to sort of think about how I want to set up the composition. Hey there, Jose. Yes, I am starting earlier today, and that's specifically, I'm trying out this new time, so if you are watching this live, you know, feel free to drop a comment, let me know if this is a better time, or you know, if it's worse for you. I think generally this is better for US and European time zones, and I know a lot of people were unable to view the stream because it was a little later. So yeah, I'm trying this out, and hopefully this works better for you guys and you won't have to stay up too late to check this out. So and welcome Zizzy as well. Yes, I do remember you. And yeah, last stream I got a nice influx of people coming from Ivy's channel, which was really nice. I thought I was being invaded by bots for a second there. But no, it was just a nice, lovely share from them and their channel. So I'm thinking I may want to create something a bit more open here. I'm probably going to go with my usual division of some kind of foreground plane in conjunction with some mid-ground hilly stuff, and then maybe some kind of path going off here. Maybe we'll do a bit of 2-point perspective as well here. Create something really massive, kind of shooting up. Not sure what exactly. Some kind of fortress, or we don't know. We have a couple other supporting rocks or structures here. I want to really create a big, nice sense of scale here. So I'm using a lot of You'll notice that the lines just become longer and straighter as they get towards the edge of the canvas for the most part here. That helps to reinforce this 2-point perspective. Oh, hey there, Alex. Nice to see you here. Sunday fun day, that's right. Yeah. That's good to know. 10 a.m. in Costa Rica. I'm not even. It's it's definitely hard with an online audience, to cater to all these different time zones. Like I do work with Evidence and their stuff, and that team is kind of from all over the world. We pretty much cover the entire globe of time zones, so it's really hard to sync everything up when we're trying to have meetings and stuff. But yeah, I just the way I see it is like 12 p.m. here. That covers pretty much the United States and anywhere like south or north of there, because I think the furthest, like the West Coast, is like 3 hours behind. So this would be 9 a.m. for them, which I think most people are up around then. And then but then it also allows for people in Europe. That like Central Eastern time would be 6 p.m. around now, so that's just around just after dinner time or in the evening, and not too late. Yeah, I think this also works better for me because I don't know. I was always just I guess doing it towards the end of the day, right when I'm kind of wrapping things up, just was a bit hard to have the energy and the focus at that point. So I'm feeling a bit more alert than usual, I would say. All right, I don't think I'm going to get too much further in the sketch than this, because I do want the majority of this to be devoted to the bashing. So let's see what we have here. I have my references or my reference photos pulled up in the other window here, so just bear with me while I kind of sort through those. And honestly, and the great thing about this process is your source photos don't matter that much, in my opinion. You want to have the basic lighting the same, and you want to have here's one. Let's start with this. You want to have some basic stuff that resembles the basic lighting and values and context. But the great thing about this is there's so many options for manipulation and like adjusting those things that it really doesn't matter so much. And you can repurpose textures and things in a variety of creative ways. There's really no limit. You can take something that it's like the texture of a mushroom, and you can blow it up to be like the side of a cliff face or something. It's really cool how many possibilities there are. But anyway, what I did here, I have this photo here. I'm actually just going to take a little snippet from this. So right now it's a smart object, which when you bring things in, when you just drag them over like that, they're automatically smart objects. So you have to rasterize them before you can manipulate them. And I'm just going to sort of take this section here, invert that selection and get rid of all that stuff. Let's also I'm going to create some kind of gradient just so we have a sort of a base mood to work off of here. see how that works. Yeah, it's kind of cool. So let's see. Oh, I still have some of the sky there. Let me just isolate this. And then we can sort of adjust this using warping and that kind of stuff to sort of fit the landscape a bit. It looks pretty messed up right now, but maybe I'll just end up using this little bottom part. Nice. And then, like, you know, as I move forward with this, it'll pretty much be it's sort of like sketching, you know. It's not gonna look good for a while. You just have to kind of, you know, kind of bear through it. Oh, that one's way too small. There we go. That's kind of nice. That'd be a good base. Maybe we can use that as a sort of a mood setter here. We'll set that up right about there. And then maybe I'll just keep my sketch on top of everything so I don't really forget what I'm going for here. But I'm not really super attached to it anyway, so yeah, you know what? Just use that as a base. I don't really have to mess with that too much right now. Let's see. There's something with a nice path. There's something. No? Oh, yeah, that's a folder. Okay, let's flip horizontal. You also want to bear in mind the resolution of your photos as well. This one might be a little low, but so maybe I'll shrink it down a bit. Maybe I'll use this for the second part of the path. I see that a lot in like people that are just sort of trying this out. They don't really pay attention to the resolution of their photos, so you get that pixelated look, which like basically screams photo bashing. And I mean, the point is like you want the end impression to be something where people look at it and they think like their first thought isn't, oh, someone created this by, you know, crunching a bunch of photos together. Another thing you're going to see me using a lot here is masking, which I've just did here. You can select mask, add vector mask down here, and that brings up this little guy. And that allows you to paint in or paint out anything you've put in, either with black or white. Basically, you're painting along a grayscale, and the more you paint in black, the more the image disappears. The more you paint in white, the more it comes back. So that's that. Maybe what I can do here is start doing a little It looks like a movie, beautiful art. Well, yeah, I haven't done much to it yet. So these are just some great photos. Um, so, I mean, yeah, I could just bring that photo in and say, hey, look, I made a painting. But that's not really what I'm going for here. I'm actually gonna take. There's a lot of layers management involved here too, which can be sort of tedious, but because this is low res, I'm actually just gonna sort of copy and paste this stuff and sort of blend it together a little bit. Whoops. Paste. Just gonna mask this out. Whoops. Mask. Let's have it blend in a little bit. Just so I can have the perfect path. Yeah, that resolution doesn't stand up too well, but because it's just a sketch, just a live stream, I'm not going to get too caught up with it. Do I use a Surface Pro? I use so I have my desktop computer set up. It's actually just a Dell Optiplex that I outfitted with some upgrades. And then I use a Huon Inspiron drawing tablet. So just sort of my latest test. I guess it's working okay. It feels a little cheap, to be honest, which it is definitely on the cheaper end, but I actually paid less for another Huon model that was the H610 Pro a while back, and I actually kind of preferred that. And they've actually adjusted that one to have a tilt function now, which is sort of it's a big game changer when you have brushes that utilize that function. Ooh, here's something cool. That's too low res. I'm looking for something to use as foreground. Something rocky. This is kind of interesting. That's still too low res. Yeah, I mean, this is why building your photo portfolio is really important. Getting a lot of like high res royalty free images together. It'll save you some time later. Also, organizing them effectively. That's super key. There's something. So I'm going to skew the perspective on this a little bit and just sort of use this as a template for my foreground here. Let's get rid of all this. And the color tone's a little bit different, but I actually kind of adjust it just a bit. The color balance is going to be very key here as well for having your photos sort of match the environment that you're putting them in. And the levels too. Like right now the highlights in this are pretty high for where it is. So I just want it to be pretty understated. What the heck is going on here? Huh. That's pretty weird. Let me try. Can I rasterize this? What happened? I'm not sure. Something went weird with this layer. There it is. All right. It's probably as big as I want to have it get because of the resolution, but that's pretty cool. I also want to start setting the stage for all this stuff I've mapped out in the background here. Lines main. Oh, I don't know if I have any good pictures of that. I can do a quick search here. See if there's anything on the stock websites here. It could be interesting. I just flip it upside down, turn it into a fortress. Let me see. I'm just gonna bring this over so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Oh, perfect. What's it called? Horseum? I don't know. It might be a bit too specific for these stock photos here. Yeah, just getting this guy again. See if Unsplash has anything. Just try mushroom. Nice. That's kind of cool. Huh. Well, this is kind of neat. Maybe I'll pop this one in somewhere. Put it in my where would this go? It's not an animal. I guess textures. All right, maybe we'll come back to that one. All right. Let's see if I actually just downloaded this references. Bring this in here. Architectural. Just downloaded this pack from photobash.org. So let's extract these because there's some nice cool castle shots in here, as well as some nice landscape things, and they are all totally free to use. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, these are pretty cool. So all of this one, Lowenberg Castle. All right, let's pop this over here. And start thinking about how maybe I can use these for the structure I'm setting up. All right, let's take this. Hopefully they're high resolution. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's pop this behind everything else, I think, except for that. It's already sort of matching the perspective lines we set up here, but I'm just gonna stretch it out even more. Really exaggerate that perspective. also want to shift it a little bit this way, so that's where our entrance is going to be. All right. And I don't really want any of this stuff in here. So I'm gonna, whoops, there we go. And let's see what else. I can actually take this. Copy, paste. Let's move it a little bit over here. And then thinking about where we sketched out those perspective lines earlier, can actually use it to create the interior plane. Of this, have it line up. Something like that. And actually, we're going to want to, what is this one? Have this in front. Well, I'll worry about that in a minute. Let's do that again here. This actually might want to thin this one out a little bit. Something like that. Let's copy that, paste it, flip. May I flip? Huh. Oh, there it is, yep. And adjust that. Cool. And let's just copy this one more time. It's going to be a bit tricky, but I think we can do it. Just move this in front. You can really just sort of line up all these corners where you want them to be. And it should, for the most part, work out. Just rotate it a little bit. A lot of fine tuning here for this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty close. Let's flip it, just see if everything's looking. The whole thing looks a little bit slanty to the left there. Maybe it's just this piece. No, I think it's the whole thing. So let's merge all this stuff just to make things a bit simpler for ourselves. And then just sort of shift this down like that. Good enough. Now, here's something crazy. We can take that whole thing, let's pop it behind this one, shrink her down. Now we have this guy. Let's kind of put it off to the side a little bit, maybe. I'm going to actually extend this sky. Put that sun right at the peak there. Oops. And then this little guy, I don't know. Let's just cut the top off there. Can just mask that. And we can do the same thing over here, just sort of trim it down. I'm gonna put that behind, or I want to make it look like that's sort of behind the landscape a bit. So let's go into our mask layer here. Just paint out some of this foundation. At the very least, just blend it in. Oops. Sometimes I'll accidentally paint on the actual layer, not the mask. All right, that's kind of cool. And this is, I think I messed up with this. Yeah, this is a little weird. So let's too bad I already merged it, but we can still fix this. Just do a little scooting. And then I wanted to have some kind of let's bring in some more photo content for some diversity here. Yeah, maybe I have a archway somewhere here that we can use. Bring this over so you guys can see. There's kind of part of one. This is interesting. Let's see what we can do with that. Right. Sort of taper it, increase that 2-point perspective. Maybe I want to flip it. Do it the other way. Yeah, let's do that. I'm also keeping an eye on the navigator up there to help sort of align this perspective. Maybe that's not quite working out. All right. It's a little bit tough because this one's already at an angle here. Let's see if maybe I can. Maybe we could use this for the inner area here. Something like that. Oops. That's kind of interesting. There's sort of a passageway going on here. Sort of looks a bit like a video game, you know, at this point. And that's because I haven't done much adjusting of shading and levels and all that. Just sort of getting a general sketch at this point. What else we got? Let's incorporate some kind of tower here. What do we have for that? That's an interesting one. Could use that. What about this one? can also use the wand tool as well to select certain areas, like the sky or something, and get rid of them. Or you could just map them out with the lasso tool here. Not sure what's going on there. There we go. Shrink that down. Get rid of this stuff. Well, then sort of taper it to align with our perspective here. Yeah, I guess it's, let's see, maybe we can doctor this up a bit. It's not totally, oh, here's what we can do. Just get that right down the middle. We're gonna need to rasterize this. May I? It's not allowing that. Well, we can flip this. Maybe this will work. Close enough. Get this nice and symmetrical. And we don't need you anymore. Let's get rid of that little bit. And we also don't need you. And we can just go in with the clone tool. If we ever want to clean anything like that up, we can just do a little of that. Maybe get rid of this weird sort of symmetrical pattern here. All right. Can probably kill this sketch as well. That's a bit cleaner. I think what I'm realizing right now is I've kind of set this up so that like this is a bit off center and I want to keep it that way. But if that were the case, these, like this whole arch here would be oriented slightly differently, and I think that's why it looks a bit funky. So what I have to do, maybe this will work. Let's take this and I might have to do it one plane at a time. Should have just kept these on a separate layer. I don't know what I was thinking. I want this plane to be slightly facing away a bit more than the other one. And this just adjust to fit. These perspective things are very important. You know, your average viewer may not be aware exactly of what they're seeing that's off specifically, but they will see it. And then for this one, we're just going to expand out. I think I still can just redo this mask, bring it out. There we go. And sharpen up this edge. Okay. Also along here. All right, so this is kind of neat. I was a little off center there. Let's take this big guy and cool. All right, let's keep going. Do want to adjust this slightly over like this. You know, let's just make it debating now whether I want to make this totally centered or not. I'll just leave it as is. Maybe pull it a little bit. Over like that. I want the edges of this archway to parallel the edges of the tower. That's what I was just adjusting there. Okay, what's next? Can probably clean up this whole landscape area a bit. I want to find some kind of additional tower thing we can use for the side here. Ooh, that's kind of neat. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe even just this. Oh, and there's the archway that we were looking for earlier. All right, this could be interesting. Let's just temporarily move that here. I want to take. How do I want to do this? Yeah, let's take this section here. Let's copy paste. I want to put that right. Oh, that's going to be a bit off, isn't it? We might be able to adjust that. I really shot myself in the foot by trying to create this this 2-point perspective bit. But actually, speaking of which, this little guy is actually not going to be tapered like that, or at least it was not my intention to do so. Do want this to look like it's supposed to be roughly rectangular. Same with these walls here. So I'll adjust that a little bit. I'll move this guy over too. So that path's going right down the middle. And this maybe actually I will just use this part here. It'll be a little easier to skew. And I think maybe overall, maybe I do want to reduce the the exaggeration of this perspective a little bit. It's just a bit more realistic. All right, let's take this guy, skew him over. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I can actually just blow this up. Oh, I kind of like look at all these little ferns are just sort of lining up like that. I think that's sort of nice. Okay, let's put a mask on that. Just sort of shade out some of this stuff. Maybe I'll just completely X that out. Not sure what I want to do with this corner here. It's sort of nice, sort of a nice mood keeping that open. Maybe I'll just shift this over. I don't know. Whoops, wrong layer here. This is the one. Maybe what I can do is just put this in front. There we go. I copy and paste this, flip it, throw it over here. Maybe, oh, that could be interesting. Kind of like the feel of that. Move this one over as well. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Not sure why. I'm gonna want to make sure these bricks are lining up with the everything though. Even take this plane and just shift that up a bit. Why isn't that working? Oh, I'm on the mask layer here. There we go. This is a lot of fun. I don't do this enough. All right, close enough. What about this side here? I love all that foliage that's coming in with these castle images. It's really nice. Although in this case, we won't be needing this. Maybe we'll keep that. I don't know. And then as far as this edge over here, maybe we have another there's something we can use for that. I see something here. If we flip it, skew it over, perhaps. The brick style is a little different, but we may be able to get away with it. Actually, let's rasterize this first. Oh, I totally forgot. You have to click on the actual, right-click on the actual name of the layer and not the image to rasterize it. That's why I was having all those problems there. Oh, and I'm painting on it. All right. That's something. We're going to need to color balance this a little bit. Get it to blend in. Might take a bit of tweaking. And then also just shift it ever so slightly to line up those bricks. It's pretty good. All right, let's bring in, there's some other pictures here of some nice, it's beautiful. Oh yeah, we were gonna see if we could use one of those archways, right? What do we have here? One of these might work. Let's see if we got, get rid of this, because once you convert it to a rasterized object, you have the potential to lose some resolution, and that's sort of the benefit of the smart objects. So let's see how big we can get this one. That's okay. Might work. Let's give it a shot. Okay. Actually, maybe the first thing I'll do is take all this useless stuff out. Sometimes a bit hard to get a good selection going here. Let's try the quick selection tool. Sometimes that's useful. Nice. And then from there, that's the hard part. From there we can just, let's subtract this area and add. By the way, I'm holding shift click with the selection tool to add, and then alt click to subtract. this out. Maybe squish it down a little bit. All right. We might have to, well, first let's cut out the dead wood here. Sort of defeats the purpose of all that stuff I did earlier, but maybe not. We'll see. Maybe all we have to use is the top of this arch. Didn't work. All right. Let's see if we can manipulate this thing into working for us. So let's apply that layer mask first, just so we're not getting any of that tearing going on there. This is a bit of a stretch. Quite literally. Huh. Close. And maybe we can just get rid of this stuff. Maybe have it just sort of seamlessly blend in there, if possible. It's a bit of a tough sell, but I don't know. We can keep it there, and if we want to get rid of it later, we can. I think it looks nice. It's just it's a matter of getting it to blend, and for that, you know, for example. That's when you start getting into a bit of painting, actually. For example, we can take a bit like that and use our clone tool here. Just maybe. That doesn't quite work. Might as well just paint it in. That actually kind of works. I don't know. It's not it's not perfect by any means, but there's a lot of fiddling. Get things right. All right, let's return to what I was going to do here. I really like this sort of tumblies over here. So let's just take that, create a mask. Maybe cut some of this out. You can make it whatever shape you want. Maybe I'll actually leave in a bit of this just for some nice greenery, a bit of nice texture there. I don't want to take down the value of this whole thing. Reduce those highlights. Maybe give it a bit more of a blue tint, since it's, well, maybe it's okay. And now the sort of the style of the landscape has changed a bit, so I'm actually gonna flies. I'm kind of stretching the hell out of this one. I don't know if it's gonna work out. But let's see how it looks. Hey there, Manimation. Nice to see you again. That's fine. Drop in and out as often as you would like. Yeah, no problem. This is it's definitely a this has been a fun and interesting experience for me as well. Not like I said, I don't do this too often, but it's kind of neat. Now, where did that archway go? Is that it? Yeah, there it is. We'll group these together. And I'm going to start manipulating values a little bit here. Whoa. Oh, everything's all separated still. So where are the other pieces? I gotta go find them. I've lost all my pieces. Where did they go? There's definitely oh yeah, I forgot. Those other pieces are these guys. Alright, I gotta put these all in a group so I don't lose them. Group 1. We're all here. Is that everything? Are we all in? Awesome. I'm actually just gonna create a copy of group 1 and merge that. Because I'm starting to lean towards wrapping this guy up. And I want to start making the necessary adjustments. Not sure. There are a lot of there's some messy edges around here. I'll get rid of those. Is that you, group 1? You making that little bit? Yeah. Group 1, what do you think you're doing? Maybe let's do something interesting here. This doesn't have this isn't the most inventive scene. So I want to do maybe some cool little things here. Have this little guy up top Just hanging out. Hopefully nobody will notice that I did that. This one is actually a little bit skewed. I think that's better. Now let's take both of these, copy paste them, merge that, make little other little ones around the side. No, but nobody will know. It's just the really channeling Bob Ross here. It's our little secret. Nobody has to know that I copy and pasted these little towers. Because they won't be looking that close. Yeah. Look at them 5G towers. Maybe I'll just do one more copy and paste and make a little shrinky version. I have this really shoot up into the sky here. What am I doing here? There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Now it's kind of original. Although I think once again, maybe I skewed this guy too much. Let's just merge all these. Just move it over a little bit. Warp it. Cool. Oh, maybe I'll take this archway. Let's copy and paste that. Bring it outside of group 1, out into the unknown. We're gonna put you down here. There you go. Clean up those edges. Nobody will know. Okay. What's next? Maybe I will. Let's rasterize this. What is this? What is this thing that's getting in the way? Is that this one? Yeah. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, let's just sort of get rid of that. Got a whole new mood here now. Maybe we could just blend them. Maybe they will work together. I don't know. I kind of like that blue. But I will And I think let's make another group here. Will consist of that, these two mini towers. Good thing they're all in the same place. Let's try that. We're missing the baby arch. Is that you? Nope, that's you. Where's the baby? There he is. Uh-oh. What did you do? Put him in front of everyone. There we go. What's this? What is this? A little bit. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Let's copy and paste group 2. Yeah. I try not to sit for this long usually. I only do this for the streams. I'm going to darken this up. And then I'm going to do a little trick here. Let's try this, see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. No. Ah. This jerk. Okay. Maybe let's try the wand tool here. Oh my god. Stab it. I'll reduce the tolerance here. Let's say 10. There we go. Now you're speaking my language. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be small. Just copy that. Paste it. Yeah, it's a bit rough, but maybe what's this group 2? I don't know, I'm trying to find a shortcut here, but maybe I'm just making work for myself. Maybe there's a photo that has something I can use here. Yeah, there's something. Just this little bit here. Rasterize. Just want some fun edges. Select that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Lower our brightness. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sometimes it's just easier to erase things than to try to make a whole bunch of layer masks, you know. All right. I think, I don't know. All the perspective's a little bit off, but I'm not gonna go crazy over it. I mean, I might, but It's unlikely. Actually, yeah, I just made it worse, didn't I? Let's bring that down. There we go. By the way, I do use free transform all the time. I use free transform, I use distort, and I use warp. And I have those hotkeyed to regular transform is Control T, distort is Control Shift T, and then warp is Control Shift W. And that's a custom hotkey setup that I have that works real well for me. I don't know. Yeah, I think this whole perspective is a little leaves something to be desired, but let's try something here. Let's do that. And then whoa. You can use the regular warp tool here. Go really wild. I don't know. I don't know if that helped. But screw it. Let's wrap this up. All right. So, what else do we have to do here? There's a lot of chunky mess going on here, so let's just fix that right now. What is this? I don't need you anymore. And this, you can be bigger. But you're not really blending well with your buddies over here. So let's grab some more. Let's grab some more fun, fun foliage stuff. What do we got? What do we got? That's kind of cool. Flip. I actually don't know if that's gonna work. Let's try something else. Something simple. How about that? All right, I don't know. Let's see how this works. You never know until you put it in context. Let's just take that brightness down. Might just blend right in. That's kind of cool. Let's copy and paste that. I want to do something about this edge up here. A little bushier or something. That's kind of cool. Should I just completely block this out? Maybe that's better. I know it's not allowed. You don't have to tell me. All right, we're getting very claustrophobic here. I was gonna try to put a figure in here, but it might take a really long time. So we're just gonna do this. Oh God, I really messed this thing up, didn't I? Maybe that'll help. Yeah, maybe. All right, let's select this beach sunset. There we go. That's what I was gonna do earlier. Let's get out our clone tool. Let's just start pushing this path out a little bit. And I want to get rid of the aligned option, so I'm just painting this in. Let's just, you know what? Let's do something crazy here. I'm just gonna take everything. We're gonna paste that. Group it. Well, we don't have to group it really. I'm just gonna merge everything. That's all I'm doing. Master layer. Because it's that time. It's time for the final edits. And to do a bit of do a little bit of painting here too. What's going on here? Ah, what the heck did I just do? Happens to me all the time. Boom. Okay. It should all be together. Why is my brush being weird? I don't know. Let's try a different brush here. Yeah, that is super strange. It's like, it's not going dark enough. Opacity's at 100%. God, this happens to me all the time. Alright, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to start doing a little bit of, I want to get in these little nooks and crannies and make sure they are. Oh, you know what? I'm just getting a little screen glare. That's what's happening. Pretty sure that's it. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's go in these little nooks here. Start giving them a bit more depth. A little bit of shadow. wherever it appears. Yeah, it's really up to you how you want to proceed from this point. You know, my preference is I guess I trust my hand to do what's right in terms of adjustments here, but if you are a Photobashing purist, this step may not even be necessary. Like I said, I'm definitely not a master of this kind of stuff, so I think the most satisfying part of this, though, is I just noticed these bricks are a little wonky. Let me see if I can adjust this without creating too much of a ruckus. There we go. I think that's a bit better. Actually, maybe I'm just gonna. Actually, so are these ones. All these all these bricks are facing the wrong direction here. Just copy and paste. Do a little free transform. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't wasn't particularly accurate with all the perspective things, but let's see. Escape transfer. There we go. Hey, that's not what I want to do. Oops. Yeah, everything but that last bit. No one will know. Get rid of this. Do a bit more cloning. Get some foliage going. What else? I'll probably do a bit of a little bit of coloration here, or we're gonna try it at least. I want to give this a little bit of blue violet from the sky. That's too much. Let's try that. That's more of a daytime glow. I think maybe the coloration's fine as it is. What we can do, let's do some fun lighting effects here. Set a layer on linear dodge. It's always my favorite part. Since it's around sunset, we'll just, and the sun's right there, so let's just beam out some beautiful color here. Set it. It's a deep, dark red-orange, and you can use it to sort of cast some nice sunlight around the edges of things. Now let's pretend there's some. See, that sunlight's coming from there, so maybe it'll be hitting right here. Let's give it a little boost along there. Oh, that's really nice. Same thing on the other side, but the angle is going to be a bit different. And then also, it won't really be hitting this part directly, but we can do a little bit of glowing around the edges here. Particularly along the left side. Or the top. Maybe, I'm just kind of guessing here, but maybe there's a little bit that comes through between those towers. Something like that. It's kind of cool. It's not like, I don't know if that's perfectly accurate, but let's do the same thing. Maybe it's hitting this rock a bit here, and some of this grass. Maybe just the very edge of this one. It didn't really blend very well, did it? Let's use a different brush for that. Something a bit more textured. Oh yeah, that's nice. Maybe even along here. Whoops. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty close. Let's go back to that soft round and I just want to kind of blow up this bloom effect here. Maybe it's a bit overkill, but it definitely helps to blend things together. Do some nice sun rays coming through. Oh, gorgeous. This is killing me right here. Gotta shift that a little bit. Makes a big difference. think that's pretty good. I think maybe just do an overall color balance to help that really pop. I'm gonna push the shadows more towards the cool side of things. And I don't know, just for the heck of it, I'm gonna give that that skylighting another shot. I don't know. Maybe just a little bit up here, very sparingly. Maybe a bit over here too. I don't think it'll be quite that blue. Probably be more of a violet than anything. It's more of a, that's more of a late afternoon lighting situation. But I don't know, you get the idea. Maybe kind of want to have this path sort of double over a little bit. This would be a bit more inclusive for the viewer. And then, yeah, I'll probably just do, what else? I'll probably do a little bit of dodging and burning just to sort of just to sort of set the stage a little bit. I think I do this. I think this purple is a little overkill. Well, maybe we can have a bit of I don't know, a bit of reflected light, perhaps, over here. And here as well. That's a bit messy, isn't it? Maybe give this a bit of a feather, say 10 pixels. That'll help it look a bit more natural. Get that soft brush in again. Yeah, maybe I'm going a bit overboard with this. But yeah, I think that's... oh, man. It's pretty good. Pretty good for now. It's interesting. Maybe I kind of just want to try one more thing here. Maybe just have a little bit of a fantasy element with some, I don't know, some little floaty blue bits. I don't know. They can be fun. Just create a nice little contrast here. Some weird particles and things floating around. We can do that with the sunlight too. Some interesting particles floating in the sun's pattern here. Don't want to overdo it, but can look pretty nice. Give it a bit more atmosphere, you know. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for those of you who stuck it out to the very end, but also to all of you who have joined me today. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope you found it informative or interesting or inspiring or any of the above, really. So yeah, if I do this every week, it looks like the 12 p.m. EST time is working for people so far. So I'm just going to stick with that moving forward. So that'll be Sundays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to do this again. So if you have any ideas about what you would like to see in a live stream, please feel free to let me know. Leave a comment or drop me a message, and I'd be happy to incorporate that into future streams. Also, keep an eye out this coming week. I've got a couple new videos actually coming up. I'm doing a bit more of a in-depth walkthrough sort of thing, where I record my painting process in real time and kind of narrate over it after the fact. So you have a bit more info on what I'm doing, how I'm approaching things, and what strategies I'm using to get certain effects. So keep an eye out this coming week. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit subscribe so you can be notified about those videos as they come out. And that's it for me. All right. Thank you all so much, and hope you have a great day.